Ladies and gentlemen, the nominees of the 2024 Game Awards are finally here, and I'm ready to stir the pot and start some arguments. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually refilming this video. If you're an active member of the Discord, you would know at first I planned for this video to go on the React channel because it was gonna be like a shitpost video. But then as I was filming this video, I ended up just going on like a 25-minute long fuck Elden Ring rant. I figured we would revisit this video idea and actually give every game a fair shot at what my personal opinions on them are, what I think will win, what I want to win, that sort of stuff. Just talk about the Game Awards in general, all these games, celebrate all their successes, and we're not gonna be on the fuck Elden Ring timing today. Maybe for a little bit, but we already had our fuck Elden Ring spiel in the previous video. So anyway, here we go. Let's start this off with a bang. Game of the Year. Now, this is going to be 100% honest man Joe. No biased man Joe in this video. Everything is going to be coming straight from the heart, straight from honesty, alright? I haven't played a single one of these games on this list. I've played Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. I've played that. I have not played any of these other games though. I didn't know Balatro was a thing until it was nominated. So let me just get this, let's get the polar bear in Arlington, Texas out of the way right quick. I don't care how good Balatro is. I don't care if that card game solves world hunger, ends racism, cures cancer. I don't care how magnificent that game is. There is absolutely zero chance a card game should be nominated for Game of the Year over games like Persona 3 Reload, Stellar Blade, Silent Hill 2, Helldivers 2. You name it, bro. You name it, it's there. There's absolutely nothing in this world that can convince me that Balatro deserves a Game of the Year fucking nominee. Again, shout out to Balatro. I'm sure it's a great game. I'm sure it's a fun card game. I'm sure I'd probably get addicted to that shit. But there is absolutely nothing you can tell me that would convince me that that game deserves to be a Game of the Year nominee over the games I just mentioned. Absolutely nothing. I watched a little bit of gameplay from Astrobot. It looked like a game that I would genuinely enjoy playing. It looked fun. It looked cool. I just never really got into it because I knew nobody would want to watch that shit on this channel. That's the main thing I look at nowadays whenever I'm playing new games is, are people going to watch this on a channel? And if I think not, I usually just tend to pass on them. I will say, I sort of got a little bit of a taste in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I played the demo of the game on the channel. It didn't really do too well, so I didn't film the actual main story of the game. But I did play like the first like hour demo that they did. It was fun. It was cool. I think right now the two biggest competitors in this Game of the Year category is Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's what I think. From what I've seen, from what I've heard, from the Metacritics and all that shit, it's looking like those two are the big competitors. However, apparently Metaphor ReFantazero is like that sneaky pick that's like still right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's top two in sort of power rankings, but I do think Metaphor ReFantazero is like sneakily like right next to both of those two games and could very easily win it from what I've seen and heard. One thing I have noticed, however, Persona 3 Reload did not get nominated for anything. What's interesting to me is Metaphor ReFantazero getting a nominee over Persona 3 Reload. I don't know. I think Persona 3 Reload was fucking amazing. That was my favorite Persona game. It was phenomenal. I could also be saying that because I didn't play Persona 3 like original. I played Reload, which was my first experience with Persona 3, and it was amazing. It was such a good game, such an amazing soundtrack, amazing story and characters, and just very, very solid JRPG. Black Myth Wukong. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't give this game a chance for a couple reasons. For one, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's very similar to God of War. If you like God of War, you'll love Black Myth Wukong. But to be honest, one of the main reasons why I love God of War is because of the story. The story is phenomenal. The characters are fucking phenomenal. The atmosphere, the vibe, the themes, just everything about it, everything about that is what I love about God of War. It's not necessarily the combat or the gameplay. So everybody was saying Black Myth Wukong has like God of War-like combat and gameplay. And that may be the case, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the game is for me, because I've heard the story is kind of just bland. And rightfully so, like, how do you make a cool story on a game about a monkey main character that doesn't even talk, you know? Like, that's hard to do. So, but I give this team credit for making this. I know this is just a kind of a random game that came out from. I've never heard of Game Science before, so I want to say this is their biggest AAA game that they've done. So shout out to them for making it on this list. I still think Stellar Blade should have made it over you. I've never played Black Myth Wukong, so I have no right to say that, but that's just what I believe. Motherfucker, Stellar Blade should have been on this list over one of any of these fucking games. You notice how we saved Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree for last, right? But yeah, Black Myth Wukong, it's not gonna win it, but shout out to you for getting nominated. That's really cool to see, especially if you're a Black Myth Wukong fan. All right. Now for the biggest polar bear in Arlington, Texas. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. And I did my research before making this video, so you Elden Ring dick riding ass motherfuckers couldn't get on me for this. This is called Game of the Year. Recognizing a, what's that word? Game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. You heard that, right? If you look up Elden Ring shows up, you have all these bundles, you have the standalone edition, premium, whatever. Then you click on Elden Ring, right? You see you've got all these editions, like I just said, add to cart, yeah, whatever. As you keep scrolling, what does this say? Oh, add-ons. Oh, and what's here? Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, PS4 and PS5. It's an add-on? It's not a video game? So you mean to tell me in order to play Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, you need to buy Elden Ring from 2022? That doesn't sound like a video game to me. That sounds like an additional content to a video game. That's a little bit weird. Now here's what I want to see actually right quick. When did Phantom Liberty come out? When did Phantom Liberty release? Okay, Phantom Liberty released September 25th, 2023. Real quick, I'm sorry, I know I'm getting sidetracked here. Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, if you mean to tell me that you don't think Phantom Liberty couldn't get a spot over one of these two games, you're crazy. Honestly, I'm looking at Super Mario Bros. Wonder crazy right now, which is crazy because I'm a diehard Mario. This is coming from a diehard fucking Mario fan right now. From what, and now here's the thing, right? I haven't played Phantom Liberty, so I cannot say for sure. But what I do know is CD Projekt Red does not fucking disappoint. And from what I've heard, Phantom Liberty is phenomenal. And Cyberpunk 2077, I played the base game of that. Fire. I plan on making a Phantom Liberty playthrough at some point. I've heard nothing but amazing things about that DLC. Like one of the best DLCs we've seen. But keep it real. They bent the rules for Shadow of the Erd Tree to get into the Game of the Year award race, which is a bit worrying. Now, I'll be honest, I never took the fucking Game Awards seriously, right? Especially when, back in 2018, when Red Dead Redemption 2 won damn near every single award at that fucking show that night. And then God of War somehow beat it in Game of the Year. And then in 2022, we had God of War Ragnarok win every single fucking award that night. And then somehow Elden Ring wins Game of the Year. And then in 2020, I'm like, okay, since 2018, we already experienced this. Last of Us 2 won every single fucking award that night. I'm like, okay, we're good. Ghost of Tsushima is gonna win this. We got this. And then The Last of Us 2 fucking won it. There is zero formula to this fucking game show or Game Award whatsoever. There's zero formula. They just be choosing whatever the fuck is most popular. There is no formula whatsoever. I've always thought of this idea, right? This idea was, you should make it so you don't know what the Game of the Year award winner is until the night of the show. And let me explain, right? So right now, I feel like it's just 90% bias and just objectively whatever is the most popular game. I feel like in order to eliminate that, what we should do, have a new little formula where whatever game wins the most awards that night gets Game of the Year. I know there's a lot that you could like, oh, but that's not fair because some games qualify for other categories, but like, that's because they're better fucking video games. If you can qualify for best soundtrack and best action adventure and best voice, best character, or best fucking best performance and all this shit, accessibility, narrative, art style, whatever it is, that means your game is genuinely a very good game if it's getting nominated for all this shit. So why don't we make it so whatever game just takes home the most hardware that night gets Game of the Year? And if it's a two-way tie or a three-way tie or fuck it, even a five-way tie or six-way tie in this case, they all get it. Fuck it. Because whatever game gets the most awards, I feel like should be the Game of the Year. So you can eliminate bias and just give it each respective category. You know what I'm saying? It wins this category, you get a trophy. That's 1 point for the night. Something like that, I think, could really make the Game Awards spice it up and make it feel less like, I don't want to say rigged because it's not necessarily rigged. I mean, I guess you could argue that it is, but it's clear favoritism. There's clear favoritism towards the Game of the Year award winners. Yeah, I feel like a little system like that could be really cool and unique. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers the Game of the Year category. This might be a bit of a long video, so strap yourselves in. I'm sorry, this is going to be a bit of a longer one. It's just really a lot of talking, but it's a lot of talking about games. So you know what, it is what it is, man. I hope you guys are here with me. You're enjoying your evening, your morning, whatever it is. And let's just keep moving, man. So, Game of the Year, I'm gonna keep it real. I want Astrobot to win, so I'm gonna vote Astrobot. Here's what I should maybe do, right? Whichever game wins, maybe I'll consider doing a playthrough on the channel. Whatever game wins this. Bellator's not winning, so that's not happening. But I really, really, really believe Astrobot has a good shot at winning. I do think it has a good shot at winning. It's going to be tough going up against Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And like I said, Metaphor Refan to Zero is that sneaky pick that's like, you know, it's still right there. But like these three right here they're no factors. All right. We have Best Game Direction. It's the exact same nominees as previous. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. I still think this should actually be Astrobot as well. The thing about Altus and their like Persona games and other shit, I don't really think they have good game direction, especially towards. I always thought the endings of all the Persona, or at least the 2 Persona games I've played, have always felt super lame. Not like I've always thought they've had great endings, like cool endings to see and just like good endings, but I'm talking about gameplay wise. I've always thought that they were like glorified boss rushes that just got extremely fucking repetitive. I would be leaning more towards Astrobot. I don't know anything about this. This shouldn't be on here. It's not a game. It's between this and Final Fantasy, and because I want to see Astrobot win, I'm gonna go Astrobot. It really sucks, man, because like a lot of the games I've played this year aren't showing up on any of these lists, like Stellar Blade, and well, we'll get to that in a sec, because I know Stellar Blade is on this list for a couple of things, so we'll get to that later. Best narrative. I mean, hey, hold on. I didn't want to talk about this too much because this seems like a lock for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. However, I feel like Silent Hill 2 very much could be up there. I've heard Silent Hill 2 was great, but it's also a remake, so it's like kind of the same shit, kind of a narrative we've already seen before. Never played Silent Hill 2, but that's from what I know. Metaphor Refan to Zero. Persona games haven't really been known for their stories, but more so just like their characters and quirkiness of the games. I'm not saying they have bad stories. They're just not really known for their stories. They're kind of bland, kind of whatever. They're cool, but like they're not known for it. Final Fantasy is known for its story, so best art direction. This, all the Elden Ring fans out there, open your ears, because this might be the nicest thing I've ever said about Elden Ring before. I will confidently say Elden Ring has some of the best art direction I've ever seen in a video game. The art direction and art style in this game is fucking fantastic. Graphics are fucking doo-doo, dog water, poo-poo shit. But the art style and art direction is phenomenal. Graphics suck ass, but the art direction, fucking phenomenal. It is very, very well done. However, it's not a fucking game. Though, this never says anything about games, so since this doesn't mention anything about it having to be a video game, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. And this is coming from the biggest Elden Ring hater out there. From me to all you in the Elden Ring community. Elden Ring has my vote here, bro. Elden Ring has my vote. I've seen this. This is really cool, but nah. Black Myth Wukong, I'm sure has some really cool shit going on with that. Could win. Who knows? Now, if there's ever an award at the Game Awards that I genuinely take seriously or that I am the most passionate about, it's not Game of the Year. It's not narrative. It's not, you know, it is Best Score and Music. This is the one award I take the most pride in. This fucking soundtrack is incredible. Let me just say this right now, alright? Here's what I will say. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Metaphor Refan to Zero. I do not doubt those games have wonderful soundtracks. I don't doubt those, because I think realistically between those, I don't doubt that those two games have wonderful, phenomenal 10 out of 10 soundtracks. I don't doubt that whatsoever. I know Final Fantasy is known for its music. I know Altus, the creators of Persona and shit like that, are known for their music as well. They have incredible music. Which, by the way, Persona 3 Reload did not get nominated for Best Score and Music. That's fucking insane to me. That must mean that this soundtrack right here, Metaphor Refan to Zero, must be fucking amazing. Because that Persona 3 soundtrack had me just hooked the whole fucking time. The fact that Persona 3 Reload hasn't gotten nominated for any of these awards is crazy. I think I see why, and it's mainly because this is also created by Altus, and the fact that like Altus could have 2 possible nominees would be kind of insane. But the fact that this got score over Persona 3 Reload is insane. I might need to check out this Metaphor Refan to Zero soundtrack and see what it's, you know, see what it's kicking. I don't know what type of music it is, because I know like Persona 3 Reload's soundtrack is like a lot of like pop. It's like a lot of pop and shit like that. I don't know if this is orchestrated or what. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't doubt that these are fantastic soundtracks. However, what I do doubt is that they are better than Stellar Blade's soundtrack, which is unfortunate because I can confidently come out and say right now, Stellar Blade is not going to win this award. It's not going to. Games like Stellar Blade don't win awards at game shows, which is unfortunate, or at this, Game Awards show. They don't win awards. They'll get nominated for a couple things, which is really, really awesome to see. Shout out to Shift Up, by the way. Easily one of the coolest, like, new AAA studios in the market right now. They are just genuinely, they're fucking good, bro. I'll talk about this for another category that's coming up soon that I know is also nominated, Stellar Blade. But shout out to Shift Up, bro, because they were on timing when they were making this game. These soundtracks are probably fantastic. I'll have to give them a listen in my free time. I just doubt they're better than Stellar Blades, bro. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. Come on, bro. I gotta show you. I gotta give you guys a sneak peek. If you haven't heard the soundtrack, bro, I gotta show you guys what they're working with. You see, here's the thing, right? This game has so much variety in music. I just want you guys to pay attention to what we're hearing right now. We got just beautiful acoustic guitar, a little bit of piano in there in the mix, and then we also got vocals too. You see, there goes the vocals. It's just this is the main theme, the main menu theme. Just a lot of acoustic stuff, a lot of chill, sort of ethereal space vibes. We go from shit like that to shit like this. And this is one of the first levels in the game. I mean, this is just fucking phenomenal. This is amazing. The vocals, everything is just fucking fantastic. It's so good. And then we go from that. We go from the acoustics to the sort of electronic, sort of EDM almost, to this shit. Just straight up fucking dubstep. I mean, literally, this shit has everything in the fucking soundtrack. It has everything. It has literally everything. It has acoustics. It has EDM sort of style, electronic, weird, techno funk. It's got this sort of dubstep vibe sometimes. And one of my personal favorites here, it also has orchestra. This soundtrack has fucking everything. I'm telling you, give this fucking soundtrack a listen while you're playing video games or studying or doing some random shit, and you will be blown the fuck away. This soundtrack is phenomenal. I mean, are you hearing this shit right now? Are you fucking hearing this shit? When I was playing this game, this shit was so fucking hype, bro. Bro, this shit is incredible. It is an incredible fucking soundtrack. I mean, just listen to the emotion, bro. It's so fucking good. Okay, this right here is a fan favorite. I'm gonna keep it real. I actually don't like this song as much. I think it's very, I don't know, it's fucking chibi. Just from another boss fight, towards the end of the game. It just has so much variety. There's you cannot guess what the next song is going to sound like. And I'll prove that to you. If you haven't heard this song before, watch what this next song is about to sound like. You hear this, right? You hear this, techno funk, crazy, dubstep vibes. Are you hearing this, bro? Come on. Like I said, I don't doubt Final Fantasy and Metaphor Fantasy are amazing. But there's no way they're better than this. I'm sorry. Are you hearing this? Look, bro, I could go on and fucking on and on and on and on all evening long. I really could. I'm not going to, though, just to save you guys a fucking lot of time. Stellar Blade. If there are no Stellar Blade fans out there in this world, that means I'm dead. Best audio design. This is a who gives a fuck category. I'm gonna give this to Black Ops 6 though, because shout out Treyarch. I think they are the best fucking Call of Duty studio out there. I know it's not gonna win it. I'm gonna just give it to Call of Duty. Fun fact, I actually just got the Nebula camo. I know, calm down, ladies. I did just get the Nebula camo in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That shit is beautiful. I worked hard for it. Best performance. When I originally saw this, I'm like, man, it's 4 chicks and a dude. If I choose a dude, I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna have to choose one of the chicks. And I'm gonna just give my money on Final Fantasy. What I can say is Life is Strange Double Exposure. I was actually planning on playing that game. I did plan on playing it, but then I heard it was fucking terrible, so I just didn't play it. Innovation and accessibility. This is another who gives a fuck award. Shout out Call of Duty. Games for Impact. Another sort of award, another category that's it sounds cool. Like when you look at it and you see like the theme, it's like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But then the games are like, what really cares? Like they don't really have an impact. This sounds fucked up. I'm sorry, but like, you don't like nobody really plays like these games don't get talked about. Like, you think of games that get talked about, like, bro, Ghost of Tsushima has been getting talked about since that shit came out. Like, ain't nobody talking about Life is Strange double exposure a week after it released. Like, even now, nobody's talking about this shit. Same thing with like all these games. Like, nobody's talking about these games and like, oh, they've had such a huge impact. Like, I get that that's the message. I get that there are messages in these games that are supposed to be impactful to society. And these are games for society and are supposed to be games to shape society. But like, nobody ever gives a fuck about them. Nobody ever talks about them weeks after they're released. Like, nobody really gives a fuck. If anything, I feel like other games out there, like story games, do a better job at putting an impact on certain people's fucking lives. So, this is another who gives a fuck award. I'll just give it to this, bro, because like, who cares? Best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Fortnite has been in this fucking category for like the last 8 years, bro. I mean, rightfully so. They've been constantly updating the game, which, by the way, Cyberpunk is coming to Fortnite. Oh man, you know I'm gonna be on that shit. That is so fire. I haven't played Fortnite like seriously and like whenever they did that OG shit, I want to say it was like last year or like last winter, honestly. That was the last time I genuinely seriously played Fortnite. I haven't seriously played it since then. But with Cyberpunk coming to Fortnite, I'm definitely hopping on that shit. But anyway, back to what we were saying. Same thing with Destiny. This game has also been on here constantly. Diablo 4, who gives a fuck? Final Fantasy XIV, another Final... How many Final Fantasies do they need to fucking make? And can they just, like... I don't know these... I'm assuming that's, what, so I'm assuming that's 14? Like, how many Final Fantasies are there? The Final Fantasy timeline and bridge has always confused the fuck out of me. When you talk about a game that genuinely had the entire world in a chokehold for the longest amount of time, it's fucking Helldivers 2. Literally for months, or like, not for months, but like for a solid, very solid month, every motherfucker in this planet was playing this game and spreading democracy and, you know, doing their whole, you know, role-playing shenanigans. This game needs to win something at the Game Awards. And I think best ongoing is its biggest chance. It needs to win something. Best community support, here we go. Outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, including social... It's kind of a who gives a fuck award, but Helldivers 2, best independent game. You see, now here's where shit gets really interesting, right? If Balatro is being nominated for Game of the Year, and it's in best indie game, this should objectively win this category. If Balatro does not win this category, we can confidently say the Game Awards are straight up scripted, bro. This has to win. Objectively speaking, it has to win. Same here. Best debut, like, come on, bro. Objectively speaking, that has to win. This mobile game, who gives a fuck? Balatro is a fucking mobile game. That is news to me. I'm gonna have to, objectively speaking, this should be Balatro, but I'm gonna just vote Zenless Zone Zero for anime titties. Best VR/AR. Who cares? I know this is a new one that just came out. I'll just give it to it, I guess. I don't care. And I play VR. Shut up. It's been a minute since I've actually, I did pull this out fairly recently. I pulled this out from my Phasmophobia Halloween special edition video. But as far as like playing single player, like action story games in VR, like, I don't know. I don't think that's the market for VR. I think horror games will always be the market for VR. Here we go. This to me is the fucking game of the year, not race for me. This is a tough competition. It's between Black Myth and Stellar Blade. Helldivers 2 is a great... I don't know if Helldivers 2 is like an action game. I would more put it towards the multiplayer. It's an action game, don't get it twisted. Like, yeah, it is an action game. But I would, like, especially like Call of Duty even, I'd be putting these two games into like best multiplayer experience. I don't even know if that's a category. I don't think it is. When we talk about best action game, for the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. This is less combat, and this is just straight up shooting. I believe this is also a lot of shooting too. This is combat right here. These two games know their fucking combat real well. And I gotta tell you, if we go to Metacritic, I'm actually curious here. Alright, so this has an 81. 81 generally favorable Metacritic Metascore. 92 critic reviews. Let's go to Stellar Blade. Yo, ad, get the fuck out of the way. I cannot look at this shit. Stop it. Just stop. Okay, now go the fuck away so I can fucking click on it, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What is this shit? The fuck out of my face. Alright, dude. Here we go. Oh, wow. They both have an 81. You see, I thought Stellar Blade had an 82. I thought it had a higher grade. I'm pretty sure at one point in time, Stellar Blade did have an 82, which was slightly better. However, if you look at the universal acclaim, it does have much higher. And it also has way more critic reviews. Here's what I will say about those two games, Stellar Blade and Black Myth Wukong. Let's get back over here. These two games have been review bombed for stupid fucking reasons. For the dumbest reasons. Black Myth Wukong, I know they came out with a statement before the game came out that spread so much controversy for whatever fucking reason. They were like, they basically said, in short, keep politics away from your playthroughs. That's all they said. They were like, keep politics away from your playthroughs. Don't be talking about no wars or none of that bullshit. Just keep politics away from the game. Just talk about the game. And people rioted for that shit. And the game got review bombed because of that. And if you look at Stellar Blade, another stupid fucking reason for getting review bombed. Oh, titties and ass. Who the fuck is afraid of titties and ass besides a gay motherfucker? Even gay people aren't afraid of titties and ass. They can still appreciate a nice ass and nice titties. Why are we review bombing the game for having an attractive character? And attractive characters at that. Adam's a fucking dude. I'm a grown-ass man. I think that motherfucker's a good-looking dude, too. If he was a main character, that shit wouldn't have gotten review bombed. Like, look at Leon Kennedy. That motherfucker was made by grown-ass men. That character was made and modeled by grown-ass men. That game didn't get review bombed for having an extremely attractive male character lead. And you know what's funny? The person who designed Eve's character, I mean, obviously there's a real-life model who does Eve's character. I follow her on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? She don't follow me back, obviously, because I'm a nobody. But still, I do follow her. She's bad as hell. Let's get back to the point. The person who actually designed, like, the character art for Eve was a fucking woman. It was a woman. And people were review bombing this game because the character was unnecessarily, like, sexy. Motherfucker, a woman... and also, it was because of the over-sexualization of her. A woman literally created her. How is that over-sexualization if that's what the woman wants to fucking see? I never understood the review bombing for either of these two games. I have the utmost respect for both of these games. And whichever wins, I'll be proud of them. But obviously, I want Stellar Blade to win. Because when we talk about a best action game, bro, this, like I said, I haven't played Black Myth Wukong. I'm sure it's great. But the action in this game was just off the charts, bro. I did a whole playthrough series of this game. Like I said, bro, if there are no fucking Stellar Blade fans in this world, then I'm dead. I'm the biggest Stellar Blade dick rider out there, bro. I am the biggest Stellar Blade dick rider out there. I will ride for this game until fucking no, like, I'll ride hard for this game, bro. This right here is such a good game. I don't care what anybody says. I think realistically on Metacritic, this game should have been a fucking 90. At the most, but it should have gotten a 90. Without review bombs, I think this game could have. It's just a damn shame people are so pressed about just the dumbest shit in video games nowadays. And again, shout out to Shift Up. Like I said, Shift Up has been continuously updating Stellar Blade for completely free. They've just been sending out free updates. They had... The first update they did was like the boss rush mode. People asked for a boss rush mode. The community asked for that. And the developers, like, a month later, were like, hey, we got a boss rush mode. Enjoy. And they're like, okay, cool. And then they continued to update the game. They started adding new music to the game. During the summer, they did a little summertime event with the Oasis area where you can fish in-game, and they changed the music. Maybe I'll play it on, right now in the video. They played some, seasonal themed music. I want to say they've done it as well for the fall and the winter, or they're going to do it, but just in general, they've been constantly updating the game. And just recently, they did a Nair Automata collaboration. Just cool shit to see from these developers. I gotta say, I give so much utmost respect to this Shift Up studio, bro, because they genuinely, I think they are the future, bro, of these action games. And I think Stellar Blade has a bright future if motherfuckers don't just sit here and look at it as a Gooner game. It's fucking Gooners. It's only a Gooner game for motherfuckers who are obsessed with fucking porn. You can enjoy the game without just constantly thinking about sex. That's the problem, is people will call it a Gooner game, but in reality, it's the motherfuckers who are all horned up, all the hornballs who are calling it a Gooner game. Yes, have I maybe said some things while in this playthrough that could come back and haunt me? Of course. Yes, I've said she has a fat ass. I've said she's bad as hell. Of course I've said these things. But that's not the main driving point of the game. That's not the main focal point for me. I genuinely enjoy the game for two main reasons. And it's not the two main reasons you're thinking of. The two main reasons are the music and the combat. Fucking phenomenal. The boss fights are it's just a genuinely amazing action game. Shout out to Stellar Blade, bro. Stellar Blade is the best game I've played this year. I played I think it's between Stellar Blade and Persona 3 Reload for my 2 favorite games I played this year, and Stellar Blade is definitely has the cake. Best action adventure. Again, for the best action/adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. I mean, that literally screams Astrobot. And on top of that, objectively speaking, Astrobot should win. If Astrobot got nominated for Game of the Year, and none of these other nominees got nominated for Game of the Year, this, objectively speaking, should win. If it doesn't, there's something going on at the Game Awards that we don't know about. This is a pretty stacked fucking roster for specifically these two right here are going to be battling hard. I will say, whatever wins Best RPG will probably win Game of the Year, which is crazy to think about. Whichever game wins Best RPG will probably win Game of the Year. It'll most likely be Final Fantasy VII. However, like I said, Metaphor Refant to Zero is that sneaky motherfucker who's just right there. It's between these two. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I've never played any Yakuza games. That's actually a game I've had on my list of games that I've always wanted to play. I would start at Yakuza 0. That's a game I've always wanted to play. It's like the Yakuza series. I actually played Dragon Dogmas 2 on this fucking channel. Here we go. Look at that. A game I've actually fucking played. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't finish this game on camera. I think I'm actually playing. I will eventually finish this game, probably off camera. The videos didn't do too well. Nobody really gave a fuck about them, which is understandable because I don't ever do RPGs on this channel. I don't like RPGs. This game was fun, but it wasn't really anything special. This was a very bland RPG. It was fun. I'm not gonna sit here and say it wasn't fun. It was actually fun, but it was just very basic. There was nothing special about it. There was nothing that really blew my sock. There was just nothing special. It was a basic RPG. The music was fucking terrible, I gotta say. RPGs are usually, like, a lot of them have some incredible music. This is that one game that just did not have good music. And I think in order for me to truly enjoy an RPG in the world, you gotta have some fire-ass music. The music in this game was just depressing. It wasn't depressing, like, it was depressing because of how bad it was. It was just generic-ass, like, it was just bad, bro. It was just bad. Also notice here it says for the best game. So, Elden Ring, not sure what you're doing here. I'm gonna give it to Final Fantasy. I'm so glad this showed up so I could talk about this. This game right here was destined for failure. Let me explain why. I knew this game was going to be fucking dug in the ground the second they focused on ranked play and on fucking and on like the competitiveness. No anime fighting game should ever be a competitive video game. This is the definition of a party game, like Super Smash Brothers. If you focus on the competitive nature of it, you are bound for failure, because then you can't have mechanics that are super party-like and make it a competitive fucking video game. You just can't. This is a party game. This game requires zero fucking skill. This game requires absolutely no skill. This is a button mashing game. This game does not require skill. It is literally just a button mashing party fighting game. That is what this game is. No skill is required whatsoever. It is literally just button mashing party game. The second they started advertising the rank play and the competitiveness of it, and the competitive scene, bound for failure. Bound for failure. I mean, bound for failure, bro. This game takes no skill. Come on. Never heard of this game. Never heard of this game. This might be the worst fighting game I've ever played in my entire life. Tekken 8, that's like a guaranteed loss. Hey man, shout out Super Mario Party. What the fuck are you doing here? Objectively speaking, Astrobot should win this shit. Objectively speaking, Astrobot should win this shit. However, I will say, Super Mario Party Jamboree is slowly becoming one of my favorite Mario parties. I think this is a very, very good Mario Party, and I hope they continue to update the game in the future. This is a very good Mario Party. One of my favorites. But objectively speaking, this should be Astrobot. Best sim/strategy. Who gives a fuck? Best sports/racing. F1. Who cares? Who cares? You know the sports scene is terrible when NBA 2K25 is being nominated. Holy shit. I'm gonna just give this to WWE because it's the only one here that's not even an actual fucking sport. Let me get this out of the way. This is the dumbest name I have ever seen for a video game in my entire existence. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 sounds like a fucking mobile game. That sounds like a mobile game that you'd get constant advertisements of on YouTube while trying to watch other YouTubers play some shit. Like, this sounds like that one mobile game that just, like, is super huge false advertising. Doesn't even look like it's like some random other fucking game that just act like it's theirs. Like, this is such a terrible name for a video game. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. What a terrible fucking name. It sounds like a virus. It sounds like if you download this game, you're getting a virus on your computer. What a terrible name for a video game. That is such a bad name. Most anticipated. Wow. I mean, if there isn't, this is like a grizzly bear being in a Roman gladiator arena with a fucking chipmunk. Obviously, it's Ghost of Yotei. No, I'm just kidding. It's obviously Grand Theft Auto 6. However, what I will say is I'm very much looking forward to Ghost of Yotei. I'm very excited for this game. But, like, this is Grand Theft Auto 6 if we've ever seen. There's never been a more anticipated game, not only this year, but of all fucking time. Most anticipated game of all time is Grand Theft Auto 6. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a bit of a longer one, so I apologize for the length. But if you stuck with me, the entire time, I really appreciate you guys' dedication. Shit, I really appreciate all the continued support recently. The videos have been doing very, very well, so I really appreciate you guys. I know that the last video is doing a lot better than it was supposed to for all the wrong reasons. Getting a lot of hate for it, but that's okay. I was expecting the hate. It's funny because, like, that last video I just uploaded about Elden Ring's DLC was not supposed to do well. It was literally a shitpost video that was supposed to be for like continuous returning viewers. It was not supposed to be for newer viewers, but so many newer viewers got a hold of it and started commenting on it, started, you know, starting arguments, which is funny because that was not what was supposed to happen. It was literally supposed to be a video, like one of those one-off, like, random throwaway videos that I upload on the channel to get like fucking 50 views, and like that's it at the most. But it ended up getting a little bit more than that, and yeah, I'm sitting here arguing with a lot of people online about why I hate that DLC, and I still stand on it. So I'm not sure when this show is. Looks like round 3 is December, so maybe like the 10th of December is when the actual show is, or 11th or 12th, something like that. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video, like button, today. We'll be returning to Ark soon, I promise. I'm just trying to find more innovative ways to film that game, because like I'm really struggling with trying to be innovative, man. That game, I'm trying my best to be innovative. I want to do some different shit, so bear with me, have some patience. I'm trying. I will be returning to the Aberration server just to do some throwaway videos, you know, here and there, but I want to try and do some more innovative stuff with Ark, man. I think the community deserves it. As far as Call of Duty goes, the campaign, I'm probably not going to finish it on camera. I might just do it off camera because I don't think anybody really cares about that at this point anymore. I think it's too late. As far as The Wolf Among Us goes, I think it's good that I can talk about some of this stuff because this is kind of a variety video anyway. I'm gonna keep it real. I actually already finished The Wolf Among Us like months ago. Back in October, I finished The Wolf Among Us. Like early October, I finished recording The Wolf Among Us. I just didn't get around to uploading the last 3 parts because the videos just weren't doing too well on the channel. And I don't know if I'm just gonna keep those videos in the drafts forever, or if I'm ever gonna upload them. Maybe once The Wolf Among Us 4 finally gets some more announcements and, you know, news, maybe I'll consider uploading The Wolf Among Us 3. Like around that time, or maybe I'll consider uploading the last 3 parts of Wolf Among Us. We'll say. I don't know. As always, capture moments, good memories. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.